Astralis now land on the home territory of Gambit Esports as they continue the series with Overpass, their map pick. Astralis get absolutely crushed on their map pick. Gambit finishing the scoreline with 16-8. Mark me if I'm wrong. But that was an incredible shutdown of the Danes on their map pick. Shiro about to withstand the aggression on water. There is his teammate to bust her from the back as well. Exile drops into Dupree's head and does squeeze through the water with his entire squad. It's Astralis to have only one player remaining, and that's Glaive, who will have a USPS, a smoke, no defuse kits, so there is merely no way they can pass by this player. It's just him. Gonna wait out a little bit and probably lean out right now to try and make a difference. He just waits for them to come through, probably give him the opening pick, but that opening pick was done only by Dupree in the beginning of the round onto Shiro, and nothing else was out there. Exile to take over and grant the first pistol round for Gambit on Overpass. Again, is this going to be the rewind of the previous story? I do wonder. Because we are... Again, I'm so afraid to have the reiteration of what we saw on Overpass... What we saw on Inferno, excuse me. Because while Overpass is a very powerful map for Gambit, they've been playing this map specifically for so many times, and their rating on this map rises to the occasion, that's for sure. Astralis, if there is any room they can pick out this map away from Gambit, I'm gonna be so surprised, but I don't think so. Astralis are going for the force buy here after losing the pistol round. 2 scouts and 2 deagles. One is already withered away. That was on Magisk. And Dupree, please tell me you are going to be capable of landing some of the one shots with a scout. He waits for the first, whiffs the shot, goes for it. Does deny the guy walking out of the toilets, but that was the maximum limit. That was the ceiling of his possibilities right there. Nothing more will be established. Xipnix, who will probably give it an opportunity to save his SSG, and well, obviously he's gonna save it because, well, Gambit Esports, if they were to dispatch their players to hunt him down, it would probably be Nafani or Shiro, since they've got slacker weapons compared to AK-47s. This is why they are not going to be going for that. So you can basically allow Scout to save. It is not a big deal. It's only the beginning of the game, and it will not yield your enemy at the third round of Overpass, I do believe. If nothing superficial happens, of course. But normally you don't expect anything extraordinary to happen. Okay. Astralis, because they invested in the previous round, they will have to reside on $2,000 per each player. That's around that mark. And there will be only USPS, a Deagle under Dupree, and Xipnix with a nade that was saved in the previous round. And so is Scout, not to mention. That's why he goes for the early pick, spots out the lags of Exile, I believe. Holding his feet on top of the ground. No early damage for Astralis. And I can already suggest that it is going to be a round for Gambit, but look at them. They were actually stacking the B-bomb side. That is a gamble worth doing right there. Dupree gets the first down. That's Shiro out of the game already. Exile does retreat and actually drops the gun out to Nafani. That is a very wise move, I should say. You dump Mac 10 and go for a better weapon instead. And you do know that there might be a siege on the B-bomb side. There might be a gamble stack done by Astralis. They are still having 3 players out there. And do you know what kind of a flashback came to my mind seeing Dupree with the Deagle and Overpass? Do you remember the most prominent highlight of Dupree against FaZe, where he was playing on the B-bomb side with the Deagle Ace? When you recall that, you always think of a possibility to have a reiteration of that, but well, that's not going to be the case since Gambit Esports denied that possibility by reversing themselves and coming back to A instead of B. That's the gamble, that's the risk that they didn't want to go for. And Astralis instead regroup themselves over to the playground. We'll try to go for the scavenge mission and probably farm up some weapons up here. Inter's probably aware of it, but the timing may not work out in his favor. He will be dropped down to 13 HP, and the rest will be done by his teammates. Zipnik swings wide and will lose his SSG in the process. Not a lot to lament off because the healthy buy will come through. Astralis have saved just enough money to afford that kind of a setup with an op. Also, it is also intact. It is on Dupree, the guy who normally plays with op on Astralis nowadays. There is no device anymore. They picked up Bobsky to be another rifler on the team. Look at them go. Triple man boost. And they catch up Glaive exactly in the timing they need. Bobsky luckily does get a retort. A huge one, to be fair, because Astralis, well, what do? You get a headshot like that, you get a frag like that after jumping over to check waters, and then there is a triple man boost that you don't have a thoughts of. And luckily Bobsky does get a retrade for that. Dupree as well comes in with another one onto the long towards the playground. He looks and does make sure that is a frag. And sure, Bobsky, great spray transfer onto the second one as well. 2 frags to his name. Shiro does get him down. 82 health points. That is hell of enough to operate with an AWP. And he's got the bomb as well. He might go to A if he likes. Astralis are in the meantime grouped up all together towards the B-bomb side. I wonder if Magisk heard the door open. I think he did, but maybe Astralis want to make sure that the B-bomb side is not a possibility, and there is no reason to blame them for that. Better stick around rather than disperse across the map and reduce your chances. If you realize that it's not B, you just safely come back to A and go for the trade game. The bomb will be planted down, and Astralis will instantly know that Shiro has got an AWP. He's got a potential to clutch out those rounds. He's renowned for those. He goes pre-scoped in to see those players coming out of the angle. Gets the first down. Dupree dropped. Goes for yet another pick, but Magisk is up there. Set and ready for him to re-pick that angle. And Astralis do pick up the first round. Much better than it was on Inferno. Way faster. Getting a comeback. Way faster making the comeback possible. That was that's what I was going to say. Because on Inferno, they picked up their first round only when Gambit were on 5th. This time around, it's Gambit on 3, and did you get it? Hobbit, you can see a little bit unpleasant of what could be a very, very well done possibility by Shiro, but it doesn't always go your favor. I mean, the odds, they do favor Shiro in those kind of situations when you have op and when you know the supposedly truthful information about your enemies, that they will probably group up in the same angle and come in as the common force. Then it gives a lot of boost to your opportunities. I think Exile today playing off of the boot camp, if I'm not mistaken, because he has a different background. Maybe he's locked in his room. Maybe he is punished for something and he waits out the punishment. Maybe that's the case. Glaive has been flashed off. He was trying to point himself further into the playground to catch these players off guard, but it didn't pan out whatsoever. It is Astralis who won out the buy round, but because it is the economy of cities, they are having hard times buying the appropriate weapons to shoot with. And this is the reason why Glaive came in for early aggression in towards the playground. Straight off the long exile, catching Bubsky with an 8 in his hands, which is a very big disappointment for him. Intours comes out on top with another one, and it is Astralis. Their defense frays out instantly. No chance given for them. Gambit Esports are once again on the 4th round. I'm so surprised that Astralis are again hitting so bad timings on Gambit. Like Gambit Esports, they almost know what to execute, so that Astralis are being in the most downturn spots to catch a bullet with an 8 in their hands. And almost the same happened in Inferno. The first thing that comes to my mind is Xipnix jumping over the wall on Banana to check whether the push is going to come through. He did go over, but when he landed, they made a step forward, which prevented him from seeing their position, from from identifying that. And this is exactly the case again. It's been repeated. You can see Dupree, how irritated he is because of that. Astralis are not able to clip anything together in this game right now. They are again forced to go for 3 USPS and 2 Deagles on Glaive and Xipnix. There was a bit of utility as well that can cover off some of the positions. And what is the setup eventually? Well, double man boost on top of the shelves. And connect her. No danger for Gambit just yet, as there is only Hobbit and is also far away from engaging with his players, so they should be fine about that. Gambit are playing so precise, even knowing that Astralis are having an eco round, are more likely having an eco round. That Molly burns them down to 60 HP, and they don't abandon this position for the moment. Now they do come through. The flashbang works out perfectly nice. Clay throws it out, and they do get the first man down of Gambit Esports. No weapon picked up for them, as they are left with Deagles only to troll around the map. Where do they want to go? Glaive spots out Hobbit. If he had allowed him to pass by, maybe that would have been a window of possibility to... Oh, what a timing for Shiro, but it still shouldn't be a big trouble since Exile is close enough to Bobsky, even if he does... Oh, no, he reads it. Gambit Esports know all what Astralis are up to. They don't care how many possibilities they miss. They will come back to them and make sure they are chased down. They are truly on a roll right now in this game. They didn't perform very well in the previous matches against other teams. But Astralis are the ones they are feeling comfortable with playing against, finding all of the grounds they need to work out the rounds necessary for the victory. A chunky nade on the Intours early on to get him down to 55 HP. 55th. Not 50 cent. Okay. 5-1. And Gambit are preparing and execute towards the B-bomb site. Gambit takes off the head off Glaive, and Xipnix falls back. Down to the water he goes, but Exile is creeping in with a shift button held. Xipnix is not gonna be happy about that kind of a push-up by Gambit. You cannot even describe it as a push-up, right? It is just a walk like cities, getting around the map, feeling the ground, etc. It is them being silent as owls. I don't know, silent as mice. Leaving no chance for Astralis to do anything in this game. Look at them. They are smiling on the T side. It's Exile to know what they're up to know how much they've done already in this game. how much pace they've imposed against Astralis. It is the 6th round. They are hitting all of the shots they need. Magisk will be allowed to save his AUG into the next round, but there will be the only morsel to chew on, right? Nothing more, I guess. Probably half buy for Astralis should be right there. Hobbit lurks behind that wall, then stands up to get a frag onto the first one. Over to short. And that is the pick of Gambit currently played out. Perfectly nice. Another tactical timeout for Astralis. 2 more remaining. I don't know what's the plan for Astralis in this game. Are they going to be able to find a crutch to lean on, at least something to hook on, a possibility? Maybe not, maybe yes. Hard to predict, but Gambit Esports have already shown a very good start to this series. And probably a very big sign of ending the series with the second map locked in as well. 5-round difference right now on the T side. That favors Gambit Esports. If you've just joined us, we want to let you know that Gambit Esports are wrecking Astralis just like that, as Exile pulls off the trigger and does deliver a hat-trick onto Glaive. The first mat of Astralis is dropped. And these are the chances of Astralis to win now this round, to make any contribution. As I've mentioned, the chances of Astralis to pull back in this round will plummet after Glaive has lost his life engaging with Exile. There will be a refrag. Still not a plenty of options here for Astralis. Gambit Esports are so composed around the map, checking all of the angles, waiting for the picks to be done by Astralis, but they know there are mistakes as well. Magisk, ooh, spots out the lags. That is the flashbang deployed. He sees him. Not the most obvious position to be in for Magisk, but Nafany, he does own a better spot on short. Bubsky does get a frag with a scout. 3-on-2 as Xipnix creeps every bit closer. He does deliver a ding onto Shiro. Down to 46 HP he goes. And Bubsky has a possibility to deliver 2 frags at least, but it's Inters to come out from top and deliver it instead. Even no bomb plan necessary. No obligatory in that regard, as Gambit do conquer the pinnacle of Overpass yet again. Inters with a late lurk into the heaven, making sure the Bubsky cannot deny the bomb plan whatsoever. A great and well-disciplined setup by Gambit right now in Overpass. That is so huge by them. The next round will come through. Dupree will deliver a ding onto Hobbit, who was jumping onto the playground. Pretty common one. Maybe not the biggest thing to worry about, considering how good Gambit esports are at playing those rounds out. Magisk has been brought down to, well, not Magisk, it's actually the Prey who's been dropped down but to 19 HP, but because Magisk has a great position, he works out that bait down by the Prey in the toilets area. He doesn't know that they are up close. That is... Oh, he sees the tip of his body and will deliver that shot. Gambit esports are in a lot of trouble right now. Astralis find 2 openings to bounce off of. And more likely secure this round in their favor. I hope so. They desperately needed to start wrecking out the economy pace. It is already the 9th round and they have not established it just yet. Gambit esports are so far away from experiencing any possible financial distress. As you can see, mostly all of the players are on $10,000, even ahead of that. Dupree misses the first AWP shot. Glaive in the same position. Double up setup right there on the A-bomb side. Exile does get a frag. Almost the second. Glaive, the molly is too deep. Doesn't touch him. Down to 0 HP. And it's only Shiro with 9 seconds left. Even if he dies after the bomb, even if he dies after the time expires, this shouldn't be a big deal. It is more important to deal damage for the Astralis members, which is why Astralis are not challenging him down. The problem about this matches is that there is no intrigue of how they will pan out, basically, because Astralis, while analyzing how they've been playing throughout the series, they are not the best enemy against Gambit esports right now. This is not their best fit against a team like Gambit, and you can see how well prepared they are for all of the picks. It's Magisk who was trying to challenge him down from the connector area. The flashbangs deployed. Glaive can do nothing about that. Double men stack right here, but it's been still solved out by Gambit as they leave Dupree in a 3-on-1 situation with no chances to recover whatsoever. It has to be a backup plan to save his weapon. The AWP, the big green that hasn't had that much impact for Astralis, and they need to start fighting that as soon as possible. AWP is a great weapon to operate with on Overpass. You can position yourself towards lawn, you can position yourself over the B-bomb side. A lot of possibilities are out there, but for now, none of them work out. It's only 6 frags for the pre-curly, the biggest frag holder on Astralis side. As soon as the bomb will be exploded, Gambit esports will extend their feet, but will not touch Dupree as he stays alive in the connector area with an AWP. Glaive always going down with an AWP. We saw him twice playing with an AWP in the previous in the round number 9, I guess. Yeah, no, in the round number 10, and this time around in the round number 11, excuse me, he was not showing the impact they needed. Astralis are so damn broken in all of the senses, economically, mentally, whatever you want to match up to their feeling, it will fit. Because having this money for the next round is present. But if they lose it, again, Gambit are having a possibility to pick up the 10th and extend their lead so significantly that Astralis will have no chance to get back on the next half. This game so far doesn't look any bit more competitive than Inferno. I would even say that even less competitive than Inferno, which is a shame. We want to see this conversation roar further and further, but not dwindle with every single frag delivered by Gambit. And there it is. That's what I'm talking about. Magisk finally comes out on top inside of the toilets area. Gambit are not even able to retrade him, which is another chance for Astralis to farm up the third round on their scoreboard. At least something. As long as you are able to get those openings, you will probably be able to get the rounds as well. Off angle for Glaive, but Exile does manage with him. Still a 4-on-3. There comes the utility by Shiro. Magisk spots him out. And no extra actions to be done right there. Shiro does not see it coming. Magisk appears to be too close. Exile with an op tries to get it done, but the low HP factor doesn't work out whatsoever. It is only Hobbit left against 4. Astralis crushed them in this round, but how many more they will be able to maintain? That is the question to pinpoint. Yeah, Magisk, likewise in Inferno, he's been saving a couple of those situations with his spray downs. A couple of executes this time around the defense, but Inferno, he was executing the B-bomb side and did get 3 kills. I remember that very vividly. He was the X factor in some of the situations for Astralis. And this one appeared to be exactly the same case. With 3 frags off of the previous round. Dupree, the door has been exploded, but Shiro sees him first. After that residual smoke off of the nade fades away. Glaive goes in for the retrade just in time to shut down Nafany and bring it back onto a 3 versus 4, at least, rather than 5 versus 3. A 1-player deficit for the Danes. And they slowly relocate themselves over to the B-bomb side. 2 of the players are standing right there. Xipnix is aware that the left side taken by Exile may be a possibility. The AWP shot missed. Bobsky is not good with that weapon specifically, and he's going to be wrapped around by Hobbit and a couple of more players. Glaive tries to make a difference, but that is a desperate one as Gambit are once again denying all of the attempts from Astralis to counter off the aggression of Gambit. That is so lame for Astralis, I should say. They are not allowed to get any chunk of territory for them. Now they have to go for another slag buy. And then 4-4 for Magisk, Bubsky with an MP9, 2 Deagles. And nothing more. That is just a standard USPS. He goes for the aggression. That is something we haven't seen in Overpass just yet. But maybe that is the beginning they needed. Maybe they need to learn how Gambit play out, how Gambit set up their playstyle on Overpass, and try to outsmart them by more aggressive ways of playing this out. Which works out right now. You can see how many ground they are taking right now. In towards connector they go. 1 player can leave right there. And probably bark up the ladder if needed. He's not going to be going for that for just a moment, I guess. Magisk, the one who gave up the angle and delivered the first frag, will be dropped. And so will be the rest of Astralis squad. Dupree, this is Glaive, does get a frag with the USPS, picks up an AK-47 and needs to get he needs to change his position right now because Gambit Esports are having an advantage by means of weapons, by means of utility, everything else. They can multi him out very easily, which is why he's going to go for a very long rep up through the monster to try and get them on the other side of the map. They will pick up the bomb and head down A. Whilst Glaive has already picked up this side of the map. He's already up here by the molly. Alright, it's not going to burn this player down. He goes for the frag, does get it. It is his moment to shine, but no. Nafany has a better angle to shoot from, and that will be the 10th round for Gambit. They are unstoppable. Can somebody call the guys who will put up sanctions on this team, because it is too extensive and this serious? Astralis are already blown away by how Gambit play out on the T side. They cannot understand what are the clips to be applied, what are the bans to be done in order to block Gambit Esports from pulling off such an incredible offensive on the map like that. It is their map pick, and you can see how well prepared they are. These are the details that this game comes down to. Astralis are not prepared for they are prepared for nothing that Gambit are showing right now. Maybe they will be able to innovate something, but that is a short-term perspective, I believe, not a long-term at least. Gambit Esports will eventually fight over Astralis, I believe. Double man stack towards toilets around the lawn area does work out very nice for Astralis. Magisk with another one delivered on top. Throws out a smoke as well to extinguish the vision, to obscure the vision of Gambit Esports coming into the A-bomb side. Here he comes, Magisk with another frag. He's done 3 so far. Hasn't been taken down just yet. He goes for another. He's on for the ace. This guy does everything on his lonesome. Does rise to the occasion again. 11 frags, and he's the only positive member on his squad. Is he going to be able to get that one as well? He jumps over to see the guy out towards Banana, but Exile, he hears it out and waits for him to appear right there. Will take him down. No ace for him. But shouldn't be any more to be chewed up by Exile. He doesn't have a smoke. Will throw it out under his feet. Try to deliver the bomb plant. Maybe, just maybe, but no. The spray down is there. Astralis did not allow this one to happen as well. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense if he planted the bomb down and had been finished after doing so, because their economy is plenty, their economy is fruitful, their economy is boiling over, so to speak, which makes them such a big dominant power across this T side. The amount of money they've been able to reach is absolutely annoying for Astralis, as they are unable to break their economy, especially playing against the T side members. It is so hard to do as well. Magisk again, so many openings for him in the early start of the game. Zipnix comes in for the frag, but he's been down. Bobsky as well does get 2. The one through the smoke, the second through the smoke either. It probably wasn't through the smoke because it was laid down after he did those frags. So Gambit, maybe they will let Astralis to pick up the 5th round at the end of this first half, and Shiro goes for an interesting switch. It looks he did roll himself back all the way to the T-spawn to switch himself up to an AK instead of an AWP. That is quite a curious move by him, but well, he's definitely more aware of what his intentions are and what Gambit are going to do. He wants to test out his AK-47 skills. He wants to show that, oh no, they missed the jump, and Astralis will hear it out. There's the first man exploded into the air. Magisk almost delivers another one, as there was a 3-man possibility again. He's farming up the stats for on the scoreboard. This guy plays for the rest of his team, I should say. Glaive underperforming, Dupree underperforming, Bobsky as well. I mean, well, not necessarily Bobsky and Dupree, but Zipnix with 4 kills only. Interest will give it a try to plant the bomb down, but that is Bobsky to come from the back and do it instead. Puts up a dot in the end of this round, and we will be shifting through into the second half within just a couple of moments. Absolutely great showcase by Gambit Esports. They are such a ubiquitous nemesis on the overpass, which is hard to withstand for Astralis. It was a very big challenge. Magisk, basically all of the rounds they won were thanks to Magisk getting those opening picks, getting super aggressive, and so forth. which is exactly what they need. Now they will play on the T side. And we will know how it will pad out just now. Before doing so, we'll take a look at the scoreline between OG and Virtus Pro, as there was a very intense brawl happening on the A-bomb side as well. On Overpass, Virtus Pro do make it work, delivering the bomb defuse perhaps, or maybe not. Oh no, it will not be. At the same situation, likewise with Astralis on Inferno, as they were probably 1 millisecond away from getting the defuse done. The odds heavily favoring Gambit Esports. Not a lot of profit will be done if you set your money on them, but maybe there is a possibility that Astralis will come back out of this one. Pre takes off the head of the Hobbit's shoulders, excuse me. The smoke to lie in front will enable Glaive to spam through and get another one. 3-on-2. The bomb has not yet been planted down, but that is soon to be once they get things finished with another player of defense out there. Shiro going through long. Sipnix will probably read that and check down to the time. Jiggle peaks. Maybe the timing is not is again gonna be a very bad sign to have. Shiro, does he consider to go for the save? Probably yes, because no kits are, well, there is one on the site, but because he's given his position away and he does not hit that first shot, there is no way he can get back into the second pistol round, which goes the way of Astralis. Finally, they may pick up some pace on the T side, and this is them playing against the cities, whose economy is not close to being perfect. Oh my lord, Shiro does pure frags. Shiro does sheer aim. Shows them up to the point he needs. Oof. Gambit go instantly for the force buy against Astralis with an AK-47 and a Galil's. If that falls in the hands of Gambit Esports, that can be a world of trouble for them. So this is why they have to avert this possibility for them taking this round back. They're going to be very careful, detailed in their steps, and cautious to all of the traps that may be prepared by Gambit, especially on the B-bomb set, as there are approximately 4 players out there. The reason I'm saying approximately is because one of them has already backed off to the A-bomb site. Hobbit, Jiggle Pekin spots up the first, and that will be the Magisk who picks him off right off of the first engagement after the B-bomb site, and the mollies are deployed. Inchors tries to make a difference with an SMG. Shiro picks up another one as well. The nade will deploy well once the bomb will be planted down. Here it comes. Great chunk of damage inflicted. And Exile drops him down. It's only Bobski left against 2. He's got to show off what he's capable of. The first man dropped, the second as well, and it's only Exile left. Behind the pillar he stands, and he will recover. Gambit Esports are taking the force buy out of nowhere. Oh, no man's land again. Astralis, how do you lose that? Please tell me that is not the way it should happen. You are losing the first map, and you are next to losing the second one. Now it should be a very bad buy for you, probably. Maybe you will go for the force buy. I don't know how crazy you are. But, well, logically, you would consider them going for the partial buy, but they are going for the full investment. They want to clear this out as soon as they can. They want to stamp on this game. They want to forget about this dominance of Gambit as soon as possible. And while being on the T side allows them to go for such a risk. So if they lose all of these weapons in the process with no plan delivered, I mean, even if the plan will be a possibility, still not a lot to be done in the next round, because the Gambit will have a huge economic advantage. CS:GO, although it's a game of economy, it's a game of precision on the professional level, because if you have relatively equal aiming skills, relatively equal power, brawling together, then chances are there will be a team coming out victorious that comes out on top with strategic things, with the economic advantage, etc. So this is exactly what we value in the CS. The economic department is so huge. Magisk AK-47 does paid off successfully. The first frag established, and he goes for another one. He waits for Nafany to be up there, and he waits for it, sniffs it out, but Nafany thinks better of it, does go faster than he waits for. And Astralis are bottled up in the waters for the moment. Now finding an escape route to the upper ground. That is Banana and Long, to be more exact. The bomb will be scooped up right to the hands of Zipnix. He's having his eyes set towards Monster, which means that Astralis are more likely to execute the B-bomb side. I don't mind that. Two players equally split, so the chances are pretty much equal. No AWP for Gambit. Crossfire for them towards this Monster area. Enters, guys, get the first, so is the second. Dupree with a deagle does pierce through. 6 seconds remaining, and there will be the bomb planted as Clave somehow does get him off with a scout. Wow, Astralis right back with the force buy against Gambit. That is a stunning dig showcase by Dupree. And so is the last by Glaive to finish off the lean out by Exile out of the heaven. Now it's Gambit experiencing not the best times with their weapons, with their money in the bank accounts. A lot of aggression down towards mid. That is going to be another upside down, perhaps, I was going to say, before Glaive turns around, but it is still a frag for Exile nonetheless. He knows that the connector presence may be a possibility, which is indeed but Dupree. Appears to be better. Comes out on top of the frag, does shut him down. 4-on-2 still. How do they find those picks? Please tell me. Gambit Sports are always so good at doing so. Astralis, they don't care what weapons you have. They don't care what strats you're mapping out along the way. They don't care about anything you do in the rounds like that. They just have deagles, they have scout, they have tags, and they have the players to finish them off. 2-on-4 against Gambit Esports. The players are pretty much bruised. Shiro misses the first shot. That's been whiffed. The bomb will be planted down. There will be no players to wrap around from Long and Banana. Otherwise, they would have looked to that direction at least. But they've got to group up together. They've got to make sure they shut down these players. Here they come. Does get there first, but Magisk stays alive against 3. That is still a very tall task to go against, as he gets exposed to Hobbit, who comes right in time to pull off the trigger and grant the 12th round for Gambit. Astralis will be so pensive after losing the round like that. The problem is Astralis are understanding that this is a force buy. Gambit might give out some aggro early on, especially towards Long with Exile. But they always appear looking at those options in time when there are no when there is no situation favoring them, when there is a situation that falls down the curve and doesn't doesn't show any white color in the end of the tunnel. Gambit Esports want to finish it real quick. Astralis, they also do. They keep going for the force buys repeatedly, and they somehow manage to find a way to work them out. But how long would it last? With each force buy one by Astralis, there comes the punishment by Gambit. Embodied in exactly the same setup. One more player on lawn is going to be able to hold off his position on that. Fafney breaks into the A area as well with a frag by Mac 10. Glaive out towards lawn, does get it onto Exile. Down he falls. The mollies will burn out and no more utility left on their side. Hobbit catches one more player off guard, but Xipnix is not fast enough to reposition his crosshair on the Hobbit, who comes out to trade his teammates and pick up the 13th round. Match has been paused for unfounded reasons. Is it a tactical timeout right now for Gambit? If yes, then that's a sign that I want to finish this off real quick. Although it looks like it's going to be a technical pause, I believe. Something's wrong with the technical stuff.
Glad. Commend.
Astralis, I wouldn't say that they are having a lot of rules imposed by Gambit Esports that they have to breach. Because while they are playing default right now, Gambit in the previous round, they were just set up on the A-bomb side with no aggression dealt at all. Astralis did not need to expect that. Instead, they were out first to lead the charge and deliver the openings for their team, for the entire squad. Looks like it's going to be a fast-paced push towards the B-bomb side. Well, they pump the brakes for the moment. Now they do go. Flashbangs are deployed, heavily blinding Hobbit in this position. But once it fades, he will be able to get 3 in a row. Livin, Magisk, and Xipnix, the two men, the best friends right now, left on the common field known as Overpass, and that field belongs to Gambit Esports, at least in this round, and probably for the entire game, because Astralis does not go their way at all. 55 seconds of the clock, that's enough to get your thoughts together, to probably ponder about the next round, maybe about the next tournament, I don't know, because the elimination looks to be very feasible for them. Maybe that will be seen on the round on the round number 23 out of 30, probably. Magisk will be brought down to 14 HP, and now this looks even worse for Astralis as they all fall into pieces with no chance left to recover. No bomb plan was delivered as well, so their economy suffers a huge financial loss. They took a bath again after investing their money into the force buys yet again. They're trying to shrink the gap, but because they've been trying to do so for so many times without getting good buy on their hands, now they are compelled to stick around only pistols and no armor as well, which means that Gambit are having a solid chance to get those players down and extend their path to the next bracket of this tournament. Scramble out of this edge that they are at right now. Exile with a good spray down onto 2. Now getting it down onto the 3rd one, but Shiro shouldn't be big trouble to deal with these players running out of the side. It's just a matter of bomb plant, which is not going to be allowed to pass by their vision. The 15th round, one separating them from picking up this map, and so is the match. Astralis. That is a little bit disappointing for me, and probably for the fans out there that Astralis have lost their position. But, well, you can understand that. You can testify that by the fact that Astralis era has gone, right? It was Fnatic era, it was Luminosity / SK Gaming era, and then it was Astralis era who dominated across the entire scene along with Liquid. Those moments that tend to pass, right? There will be also it is a rule of the universe. There will be always somebody who will appear to be better than you. Maybe not now, but within some time. Who is also practicing and willing to snatch out the victory in matches like that. And Gambit are once again showing that they are crave to do so with another opening onto Dupree. Exile does get it. And these are the repercussions for Astralis to stay 3 on the... Oh, excuse me, to leave the bomb somewhere in spawn, try to go for the information. Maybe get something going, but because they have 0 of that, they don't know where Gambit are set up. It can be 3 on A, 2 on B, maybe 4 on B or on A, whatever it is still a very risky setup for them. 25 seconds, and Shiro has not yet been spotted. He's going to be sprayed down from the back. Sloppy one, but Bubsky helps him out in that brawl. 3 on 4, and Avani comes in with its great spray down to 1, and probably the second. No, he stays alive, and there is no nades. Okay, there is actually other intros, but he doesn't care. 1-on-1, and probably a chance for Gambit to close it out right now, here and now, with no delay. There they come, the 16th round for them. Astralis have been brought down to 0 chances on the second half. At least on the first, they tried to do some competition, but that was just nothing compared to what Gambit did against them. They crushed them into pieces, and we will see them progress further into the next bracket of this tournament.